Røkkr. Been a little too nice to y'all. Now I gotta up price on y'all. Snake eyes on dice for y'all. Shoulders on ice for y'all. 8-6 all the hate. I won't get involved today. Got lost in the ball and eggs. I'm flipping the bars. I'm flipping the
Octane.
That's what we wanted. That's what I'm talking about. He don't miss.
Off record deals. Tell him talk to Colin for the quote. Off record eyes. Still want to act, not the ghost. For the record, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable.
Y'all think too small, I got big dreams. You just starting, I'm way ahead at the end scenes. Started reading and dodging all of the quick schemes. Money like your Spotify, boy, I got 10 streams. And I'm still looking for more. My people, they got a soar, I'm putting that on the Lord. Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out to finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, job that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the ground and the cause is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live.
Minnesota! Let's get into this one. It's another lower bracket matchup. We're sending another team home. It's going to be tears, commiseration for some, but for others, pure, unfiltered glory. Right. Let's get on with this. One team that has had themselves a wonderful way with the other opponents. They've got a new look, a fresh coat of paint, and they look damn good. Let's welcome them to the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, the New York Subliners! PaulEhx, Neptune, HyDra, and Crimsix.
The vibe overall for this New York Subliners team has been incredible since the addition of PaulEhx, and the sub duo is looking on par. This should be an incredible series.
Miles, go ahead and bring out the LA boys.
Oh, boy, it would be my genuine pleasure, really. A team that's had their struggles throughout the season, you know, they're a bit up and down, a little bit of mismatch here or there when it comes to hard points, but damn, the drip be good, ladies and gentlemen. Please, welcome to the stage, the LA Thieves! Octane, Drazah, Kenny, and Envoy.
The crowd is loving them. Even though they've fallen from the top since Major 1, this will be the spark that they needed. With this team composition, you got players like Kitty and Envoy. I'm expecting them to pop off and go crazy right now. Miles, I'm feeling like this might be a turnaround.
It very well might be a turnaround. This is going to be a good series no matter what happens, friends. The crowd is pumped. We've clearly got a lot of fan faves here. It is now time to throw us one over to Bryson Tunn, boys. Take it away.
Thank you very much. Yes, we are looking forward to getting into this one. Another elimination match here in the Call of Duty League Major number 2. Ton. Both these two teams had kind of a storied qualifier too. LA Thieves fallen into the bin. New York dragged themselves out of it.
Yeah, it's a contrasting kind of journey they've went on so far in stage 2. And it's kind of all going to culminate here in a game where the loser will be going home. And it's a really hard one to call, to be honest with you. I think a lot of people would have looked at this and you see what happened with the NYSL at the beginning of the season and Thieves looking so good and kind of have fallen off. It's a very hard one to predict. They're kind of meeting, but both going in different directions. But is it going to be enough for NYSL? Has that pickup come at the right time? Has anything changed for Thieves over this past week? We know they've been scrimming a lot. We heard Mod Dog talking about it. Has their S&D situationals changed? These are things that can't really coach necessarily. They need to get it themselves and get it locked in. But this map set is very, very interesting. You see a lot of people online kind of, I want to say, you know, favoring it for the side of Thieves. However, for me, on this one, for NYSL, it's not a bad one either. On recent form, it's very, very even across the board. I think it's a hard one to predict. Both teams are very good at that bail and hard point to kick things off. But from there, neither one of these teams really excelling so much on either one of these maps that are the remaining 4. So it's interesting to see how it's going to play out.
Yeah, it certainly is, of course. And I know a lot of people at home, you said about people kind of favoring Thieves in this match, but there's no real way to say this, but essentially from Major 1 to now, they've done nothing. They've done nothing that gives us any faith in this team, whereas New York, they had the roster change. PaulEhx has come in, given them a new lease of life. Yes, they've already lost once into this major, but I'll be honest with you, it kind of favors them on recent form. It may be the last hurrah for this LA Thieves team as we know it, but anything can happen and frequently does at the major, so don't count anything yet.
Absolutely not. Like, when you look at how Thieves have kind of lined up their squad, they are one of these teams that if they start performing to the level that we know that they can, they suddenly become a contender. And it's just a case of when that's going to happen. Is it going to happen? NYSL are going to be one of the teams to try and counteract that potential that lies within this Thieves squad. But look at the map records for these teams, as you can see, 3-2 for the Subliners, 4-2 for the Thieves. But in recent form, it has been very, very even. Berlin Hardpoint, though, when you look at these stats, the break percentage for Thieves is something that will not make good reading if you're from LA. Other than that, though, it's fairly even across the board. Those holds will work, but they really do rely on these rotations.
Well, here we go. Let's get right into this one then. On board with LA Thieves to kick things off as we scream into P1.
NYSL over the last few weeks or so, this P1 has been so influential for them. A plus 24-point difference against the opposition that they've been going up against. Let's see if they can lock it in here. The kills are going to start coming in, though, for both sides. AR's just trying to lock down the spawns where they can. Thieves have immediately been flipped, and what can Subliners do from this position? Kenny in a good spot to defend.
Well, it's got a little bit chaotic here. They're looking for that last player from New York, and they will eventually take him down. But it's New York who have managed to break into P1 here. Thieves trying to kind of regain lost ground. Not really finding anything so far. They're going to have to just settle for the rotation.
Subliners undefeated on this map in stage 2. Let's see if they can get something going here, though. The points starting to come in. This rotation over towards P2, though, for the LA Thieves is going to be able to lock in. This is where a lot of those points are going to come in for some of these teams. And Envoy really has been one of the standouts here. They need them to have a standout performance here in their game, in the losers bracket. Last place for one of these teams if they do fall.
Well, HyDra trying to make a flank there, trying to flip things around. It didn't really work out for them, and Envoy's just been kind of lonely here in the hill at the moment, but he's eventually going to have to try and take some gunfights, and he does! Neptune gets burned out of this one, and Thieves have put New York to the sword.
And now the thing is for Thieves, they can start to extend now. That's why you see Drazah in fire. Subliners will know this is coming, though. The setup is slow. Can Drazah find 2? No, the kills are going to come in here for the Subliners. They were important. They may well be able to break the hill, but the most important thing there was keeping a hold of those spawns for P3. Thieves now all the way back. Docks, 20 seconds remaining on this hill. Subliners have kind of flipped it around.
And it's the Subliners want to just pin them in here as long as possible. They know that rotation will eventually come in, and you can see on the minimap, they're just checking every possible avenue, pinning the Thieves back as much as they can, and HyDra doing a great job at it now. 5 streak, and you can see Thieves have slowed it down again. It's a 6 streak now for HyDra. Somebody else challenging him, Tang. I don't think they're going to. Eventually his teammate does go down in the hill as HyDra looks for the glide bomb.
They know he's on it. They know he's on this streak, and this could be important. All the gunfights going on the other side. Oh, he's actually going to choke it. Crimsix helps him out, but now he is there to make the cuts over across fire. The fact that he is seeing little over here gives the info to Subliners as everyone's trying through the front door.
They certainly do. There's a big push coming in at the moment, but it's going to be New York who hold them at bay. HyDra gets there to reinforce his team, and nobody's here as he eventually finds one at the back. That's the glide bomb for HyDra. New York still in control here. Reinforcements flooding in from the LA Thieves, though. And PaulEhx is going to have his own glide bomb if he finds it, and he does! Double streaks now for New York!
Oh, nearly finds the kill on Octane towards the back as well. But a fantastic set of 2 hills coming out for the Subliners there. Really puts them on the board, and look at this rotation coming in over towards P4. Thieves will get around 15 or 20 seconds on that scrap. But Subliners here in a really nice spot. They've got the sprees, they've got the streaks coming in for their team. Now the push is going to start coming in here for the Thieves. Can they get the ball rolling? It's only a 20-point game. Good shots from Kenny. Still running that AR. There's been so many conversations about him being on an SMG. We're not seeing that quite come to fruition yet.
Well, at the moment, New York holding steady here on Train, and I'll be honest with you, we don't usually see this much time. LA are going to start thinking about making a move, finding the gaps. But at the moment, they can find nothing. Octane is trying to see where anybody is here. Kenny eventually opens proceedings. Octane gets the second one in. And now you can see that is a slow push, but a successful one from LA Thieves.
Just about successful. HyDra's going to find 2 inside the train station. That's really going to slow things down. Can't find the third. As Octane will lock this one in. Much better from Sam as he finds a few kills coming on board, but PaulEhx is there to answer back. Nice turnaround from the Thieves after a slow break.
It certainly is. Well, let's find out what's going on in the mind of the New York Subliners with a listen in.
Boys, you close? Laying down. Yeah, laying down close.
I don't see him.
He's still laying down, He's for fire. Watch out, Envoy. Watch out from fire.
I went sidewalk. Nice.
Yo, for fire still.
Yeah, they flip fire.
P2, bottom P2 fire. Get the whole soak.
Oh, yeah. Blast. Mid-section, P2.
Yeah, stay P1, stay P1.
He's on the left side top.
Nice, good job.
Left side.
2 P5.
I'm playing P1, I'm playing P1.
1 P5 tank.
P2. Back me,
Absolute time, guys.
Absolute right side time, nice.
Good job.
P2 goes.
Soak's on me. He's peeking out.
I left off.
Soak's on me. Drazah's on me.
On time.
On time.
Yeah.
I'm 2 on time, guys.
I needed it.
Left side and right side, left and right.
There's on time. Nice.
One's P1.
I get to me.
P1 weak.
Get the rest this time, okay?
P2.
Come right now. Give me a sec. I'll
P2,
get
nice.
Nice job.
This probably got long.
Yo,
Long.
Play secret.
Get towards
Yeah.
P1.
He went by. Back alley.
What's that?
Another one on me.
New York trying to hold this down. You can hear in the comms screaming them to their teammates and trying to get it, but the rotation to P1 is imminent, and it will be LA Thieves who break on through. Only HyDra has the opportunity to stop them.
Pinch setup potentially here. They need to get rid of HyDra, and they do so. Drazah will find the kills. So for the subliners, you've got the more preferred side if you do want to try and break this hill. But Thieves, the trenches are dug, and here comes the rest of the subliners. So shots are in from aBeZy. My goodness me, how accurate with the MP40. He'll get it done, and this is a really nice hold so far. Thieves are going to change the lead.
They certainly are, and it's been a game of 2 halves so far. Both these teams looking great on different hills, but it is going to be the Thieves. Look at the push out coming all the way. Drazah managing to get down fire, and that stopped New York in it. aBeZy looking for streaks as well. A little bit of pressure coming through, and Neptune bends the ball around the doorway and takes him down.
Yeah, all for subliners at this moment in time. You lose far too much time over towards P1, but the Thieves looking like they're going to give up the majority of the scrap. Drazah will find one. See, the push is actually going to come in from aBeZy. It looked like they were trying to set up for P2. Have to be careful not to fight over too much, as it is going to be HyDra who slipped the net. Octane is just about going to survive, though, his presence here with the MP40. The rest of the subline is now coming to back it up. Thieves give up quite a bit of time there. Could have been a better spot for them to be in, but they had the setup at P2. You have to be careful for HyDra, though. He's been lingering for a long time. Can he find the break for his team?
Well, the French Phenom is on the flank, and they're going to be looking for him. They know he's going to be an issue. PaulEhx looking for players to come around again, and it's HyDra once more. Just being so dangerous. Looking for Octane up top, and he gets those down eventually, but it has opened the door for New York. They are in here in force. Can they hold?
HyDra really finding the roots and finding the kills for his team, which is lighting up Thieves. Very close game. Octane's going to find a kill, though. Fighting from the back here are the Thieves. Already for subliners, 25 seconds to go. You're going to be thinking about this rotation. Neptune spawns up at fire. He's already going, and Crim's doing the business inside the hill. 15 seconds to go. Would have been the fourth for Crim. Drazah and Cole looking like they are going to break on through. And for Thieves, this is maybe a little bit of respite, but it's PaulEhx inside the hill trying to stop it happening. And that's a best case scenario for subliners. You hold on the majority of the time. You got the spawns from P3.
Well, it does look like they are in the driving seat at the moment, but with this rotation comes a new set of parameters. What can they do here? HyDra still being a problem around that old hill, eventually gets taken down. On the minimap, though, Kenny trying to work his magic, looking for the opportunity for this. Already the glide bomb's going to come in. They're going to know Kenny's there as well. They're looking for it here on the street, but New York have been completely removed from the hill. The glide bomb does nothing, really, but allow them to respawn up.
Yeah, I really don't like that from HyDra. It takes him out of the situation to help in those gunfights in the front. Neptune will find two. Can he find a third to maybe break on through here? The shots into aBeZy are not necessarily the best, but look at the spawn out for Thieves. And now New York subliners. It's the pressure that actually comes in from Crimsix in street. Helps that break come on through, and Thieves are going to battle back once again.
Well, they managed to flip this completely, but look at the pressure coming through platform as they say that. Complete shutdown. PaulEhx just shuts down Thieves completely. That's a multi-kill for him, and we're off to the races as it goes back to train.
Yeah, streaks are going to start coming in here for PaulEhx as well. This break for Thieves, this hold for Thieves is going to be very difficult when the missile's coming on through. Does not find Octane towards the back, though. Can he lock it in? But constant thorn in the side has been the French phenom in HyDra. Looking for a couple of kills over towards the back. It's messing with the spawns as well here for Thieves. Not helping them with this hold. They really haven't picked up a single point so far in P4.
We can see both teams hesitant now to actually jump onto the point. They're looking for control first. Something the LA Thieves didn't really have before they grabbed it. They're now getting all that back train spawn, though. And they're going to be fighting for this for a little while. Desperately just trying to maybe get a tick here or there on the hard point. But it is closely contested as both teams flood bodies towards this.
Who's going to come out on top? Octane towards the boxes. It's a powerful position to try and hold. Can't find the third as Neptune shuts him down. But subliners get little to nothing on this hill. Thieves will chip away at that lead that has been built for the New York side. Neptune and PaulEhx don't combine it well when it comes down to the scrap, and Neptune will find three to break it open for subliners. Spawns towards the back for Thieves. And can Subliners get themselves set up here over towards P5? Not quite turning into a money hill. But look at HyDra. He's locking it down all on his own on the outside, but Thieves get the pressure. They get a bit of break.
Well, it's all on Thieves now. They need a miracle. They need a regain. And Crimsix is looking for them. Drazah does get one here. Envoy gets the second. They're jumping straight for this. Envoy gets the third. And now Neptune gets one back. But LA Thieves is about control. They will try and get some time here on P5, but they're losing members left, right, center. P5 gone back into New York's control. And this is not looking good for LA Thieves. They are spawning away.
It's not, and they're going to have to start hitting from train. They're kind of stacking over towards this side. Crimsix will find one. The rest of Thieves are now going to start funneling through that side of the map. PaulEhx and co. need to do the job here, but you've got to start thinking about this rotation over towards P1, especially if you're the Thieves. But you also have to think about what's happening here over towards P5. Subliners can still win it, and with the majority of them dead, it's only Octane who can do much. Will find the kill, will break on through. But that rotation for Subliners is in. Thieves need to punch through, and then they need to get over towards P1.
Well, here we go. Last opportunity. New York know they are ready for this one. Already though, Drazah opens proceedings, looking for it. PaulEhx going for the same time. PaulEhx going berserk. HyDra gets one on, but the only opportunity as HyDra takes him down. And the LA Thieves will be put down already in this series. New York have arrived at the major. And what a game already.
And it's about those rotational kills. PaulEhx and co will be the ones to take the plaudits towards the end of that map. But it's HyDra. So many times he's making the cuts, he's making these routes, and he is winning his gunfights time and time again. A 32 and 23 from him doesn't necessarily even give itself so much credit of how important he was for that team, but a heavy outslayer by the Subliners will give them confidence heading into map number 2.
Yeah, unbelievable. As we look through the highlights here, we're going to see the same players in it over and over again. HyDra just being a menace. And this is not something just a month ago. We were at another event just a month ago. This is not how this went at all. What a difference the time has made, as it just seemed like New York with a better team here in this hard point for the majority of it.
Yeah, it really did seem that way, didn't it? And we were talking about it backstage. I really do fancy New York in this series, but it's the streaks that they go on. I think that P2 to P3, on both the rotations that we've seen, Thieves got little to absolutely nothing in that one. A phenomenal hold by NYSL. And typically, that's where Thieves have really had a lot of their success when it's come down to Berlin. We're talking P2, an average of 12 points over the opposition team. Over towards P3, maybe not so good, but it really didn't come to fruition whatsoever for the Thieves and Subliners. That dominance they usually show on P1 wasn't even needed. P2 and P3, those transitions were beautiful every time. Thieves barely got out of docks at any stage. It just makes it so difficult when guys like PaulEhx are doing this, lining them up. And what a pickup he has been for this New York side. He's a big reason as to why they lead the series now 1-0, and that is a comfortable map number 1 on Berlin win.
So many conversations about New York Subliners in the run-up to this event and before they made the roster change about pacing. I'll tell you something, PaulEhx is like a new breath of life into this team. HyDra's playing well, Crimsix is playing well, Neptune's playing well. For the Thieves, there was flashes of the old Thieves. There was something there, but it was never consistent. And the problem they've got is not that LA Thieves are completely down, it's that New York are up. New York look incredible, and that's not what LA wanted coming into this series. They needed to just shake off all the bad vibes they've had for the qualifiers. And unfortunately, it continues.
Yeah, and it continues into probably their worst game mode. Let's have a look at the search and destroy side of things for the LA Thieves. That is not good reading. Round win percentage, the last record, 7 and 13. It's the First Bloods and the First Bloods conversion, though. That's the big problem for me. You don't find many First Bloods, but when you do, you're doing nothing with it. 60% of their First Bloods only get converted. That is terrible. There's so many times that we've seen this Thieves squad in an advantageous position in rounds in search and destroy, and they convert it to absolutely nothing. That's just situational players that they need to be better at, and that's not necessarily on the coaching staff. That's on the players.
Well, throw as much shade around as you like, Tan, but I will say this. I will say this about the Thieves. There is an awful lot of talent on that side of the stage, an awful lot of veterancy, an awful lot of gun skill, and a lot of COD knowledge. It is never over for them. They just have to find the right groove. They just have to figure it out. And if they can win this S&D, they can come back into this series and start bringing it back for them. Well, who knows?
Yeah, it's going to be really difficult from here, though I did have them down as winning that map 1 Berlin. I think these next 2 maps do definitely favor the side of NYSL. For the side of LA, though, they're so mixy when it does come down to Desert Siege. They 6-0 OpTic, but then immediately then get beat 6-1 by LAG. So it's really hard to know what side of things you're going to see for the LA Thieves, but a negative record across the board for both of these 2 teams at this moment in time, though. It's very much about the snipers for LA Thieves. If they can get them going, they look good on Desert Siege. But if NYSL can counteract that, I don't know what they have to offer.
Well, fortunately, we get to find out as this map is about to get underway here. And for New York, a continuation of the ascendancy in form they've been experiencing for LA Thieves. They're hoping for redemption. Let's find out straight on board with Octane. And has the old boomstick in hand.
Look at B, look at B, look at B. He may well have the sniper, but we don't care. There's nothing going on here. Look at the fight coming in. It's going to be Neptune. Finds 2 kills to kick it off for Subliners. And that's the worst possible start for Thieves. Octane on the sniper. Envoy, of course, going to be alive and kicking as well. But Neptune, can he find a 3rd as well? Looking for the ace. Wow. He's had such a turnaround as this man. Not going to quite get it. Octane will answer back. It's a 1v2 on the cards.
Wow. Octane going to be looking for the 1 versus 3 technically. Is there any magic here? Still looking. Obviously has the sniper and the auto at this point. Looking, a wish, a hope, a dream, a chance. Just a sniff of something for him here, and that's Crimsix.
Is he going to expect PaulEhx so quickly, though? No, he is not. Very close to each other, and PaulEhx has the perfect spot to respond to the shots.
And I'll tell you something, I felt like it was going to be a little bit of redemption there, maybe for Octane, but this is everything. The social media, HyDra and PaulEhx on fire, and so are New York.
He has been a breath of fresh air for this squad, and it just seems to have given life to some of the other players who weren't necessarily performing, and absolutely has to be said for Neptune. He has turned this round in absolute spades. It's been incredible to see the transition. No, Drazah, you got to be careful, but PaulEhx is going to miss his shots this time. He gets away with that one. That's one you would expect to hit, but still 4v4.
A little bit nervous. We can see it. Oh, I think he's sitting just the tip of his brow. And that bomb is going down. That sniper has opened up the corner for it. Neptune's going to get it. Can he get away as well? He does. 4 versus 4, but bomb down.
Let's see how the retake is here for Thieves. They've got to clear out quite a few things. Look at the aggression from Neptune. Is going to eventually find the shots, but gets traded. Envoy now going to get caught with his pants down. Nobody inside of Palace. And HyDra can now start to run ragged. Drazah will find another 2v2.
HyDra's playing with Octane, but it's going to be Crimsix who eventually finds the 2nd as well. New York, a little bit chaotic on the mini-map, but clinical at the end.
For the side of Thieves, they completely give up the B side. The shots that initially go in, Drazah has to then back off. It gives this license for Neptune to push up and plant that bomb. And once you're in that situation, your ARs are overlooking. Things did get chaotic, but there was no Palace control from anyone, really. And HyDra runs through the middle of the map and finds easy kills. That opens the lanes up for Crimsix to get himself in a nice little spot. Subliners, somewhat flawless so far. Can Octane answer back, though, with some snipe kills? We haven't seen any so far.
Well, he's looking to thread the needle here at the moment. Thieves making their way up the map here. You see New York are probably a little bit ready for this. We've already hit the snipers go down as PaulEhx finds one. That's first blood for New York. Can LA Thieves find a way back into this? That will now be bombed down for them.
Hits as well. And that sniper shot just kind of opens things up for the Thieves to find that little gap, but you're not going to find the gap inside of Palace. HyDra, the French Prince, lingering around. Kenny can't find anything there. Wouldn't have expected Crimsix. Now it's Octane left in a 1 versus 3. Make it a 1v2 with the sniper. Always a bad spot, and Subliners will find another. And again, it was PaulEhx who finds that first blood, but it allows Thieves to then find that break, but they get broken back themselves far too easily.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate there. Obviously, a lot of places to look when you don't have the numbers to do so. And Octane tried his best there at the very end, but you can tell he just gets picked off, and that's the needle thread. PaulEhx finds that first player, and even with Octane trying to counter-snipe him here on the other side of the map, just wasn't really exposing any part of his body for him to do that. But New York up 3-0 here in this series, and Thieves still looking for something.
Need to find something. I mean, it's really Not looking great, but look at this aggression that's going to come out from the Thieves. Are you ready for it? If you're the Subliners, can you find the angles? If you're the LA side, Crimsix takes a lot of bullets, and eventually the shots from Octane will find its way through. That bomb will go down at A. Pinch potentially set up as Kenzie will find one, and this is quite flawless from the Thieves, eventually waking up here on Desert Siege. Can HyDra? Will be a 1v4. There's one, there's two. Not like this, Thieves.
Surely not. Envoy is on Overwatch, though. It's going to be a little bit of a trouble here for him to do anything, but he's trying to find anybody. And this one's going for the gunfight, eventually dips out, but I believe that will be defused. And HyDra try to make it work, but Thieves just holding the ice for now. And that's what they needed. Great retake from them, by the way.
That nade is not far off, by the way, for HyDra. It is not far away. If that nails on both of them on the bomb site and it's suddenly becoming an easy 1 versus 2, weekend players in that situation expect HyDra to hit something. Did well to get it so far, but that just kind of brings to light the Thieves and their problems. Do really well at the start to kick things off, but losing those initials, that doesn't help them out. But here we go into round number 5. Aggressive hits once again. Subliners all over towards this side, but the bomb going down to B.
Now with that bomb down, it's going to have to be a big retake, but keep an eye on that player. Envoy is going to open up proceedings. And that is going to be a dagger in the side of New York. Envoy is now going to cause more issues for it. New York can't be completely convinced wherever he is. And Neptune tries to get away from it. Somehow turns and burns. Coming down now to a 1 versus 3, though. Neptune, the only player left alive, but with 23 seconds left to go. I don't know if there's magic for this.
It's a really tough position. There's just no time, and LA Thieves will find another one. Much better from them. And kind of look out a little bit like they did in the previous round. They sent everybody over towards B on the defensive side. In this round, they send everyone there once again. Luckily for them, New York sent everybody over towards the train side and really can't get anything done. But Envoy has a massive job to do, and he does it with aplomb. Now, can Thieves continue this streak? Much better from them. They're putting all their eggs in one basket, though, with some of these players. It hasn't necessarily been that slow setup, that typical search and destroy play. It's been send everyone over towards one site, see if it works. So far, so good, though.
Well, so far, so good is Octane's middle name at this moment, because he's 8-4 and causing issues. Well, I say that, and already fire coming on to Drazah. Bomb going down at B. And it is going to be New York who now have control of this round.
Same story again. Both teams wolf packing over towards either side. It's about the retake here for Thieves. Crimsix is ready and waiting. Drazah with a sniper, or with the SMG, I should say, is going to struggle there, but over towards the bomb site. Kills are being traded. Crimsix reads it, and suddenly it's a 1 versus 3, and suddenly the round is over. Subliners lock it in and find those kills. And Drazah, as soon as he's spotted by Crimsix, the jig is up, essentially. If you can set that pinch up, if he finds the kill on Crim, it's an entirely different round. But Subliners, they sniff him out, and Crimsix will find those kills all day long. Another round over towards the Subliners, 4-2 to the good. Thieves were on the comeback, but that's an important round for Subliners. They stopped the bleeding.
Well, let's see. This time again, we're on board with the LA Thieves on the attack, and it has been working when they've been confident and been aggressive. You see again already here, taking full palace control. A full palace control. I think all of their players are here. Oh, I think he's been seen though. PaulEhx has seen somebody. Kenny Tresman tries to get out for it. But now as there's shots going down, upside down and everywhere. They're looking for it. Envoy eventually will win that first gunfight, but PaulEhx answers back, bringing it to a 3 versus 3. Chaos erupting here on Desert Siege as both teams throw players at this one. It's now down to a 1 versus 2. Crimsix looking the clutch.
Oh, he lines them up, but a good aggression coming out from the Thieves. And that was just mixy. Everybody in Palace swinging. And this time around, it will be the Thieves that come out on top. And that's much better from Envoy. I was thinking to myself, what does he need to do? A lot more Palace control needs to kind of come in for both teams. Neither one of them have really been fighting for it. Envoy gets inside of Palace and finally finds a shot and finally finds a kill to help himself out and help the Thieves out in that round.
It was kind of chaotic Palace there. Everybody was shooting through every door, window and wood bit they could see.
Found 2 actually.
And now the Thieves are still very much in this. Another big hit coming in. Oh, and Drazah almost gets him.
Get out, get out.
He wants him, he wants him. Nades exchanged from both sides. Somehow, every player still alive.
Envoy is on the flankiest of flanks I've ever seen. All the way from behind, but he's looking over towards the wrong side. But I don't think they know that he's there. Subliners still concentrating their efforts over towards B. Those efforts have been rewarded with a kill. Drazah will fall, and honestly, the map is just in absolute chaos right now, but it's now a 2 versus 4, make that a 1 versus 4. Thieves looked in such a good spot for so long, but Subliners just bide their time. And Octane now has it all to do.
Well, he's 11-6. Can he do this? That is the question. A technical 1v4, 1v3 currently on the cards, though. Can he find this first kill? He's already going to be looked at by Crimsix and taken down. And I'll tell you something, that round there, Tom, by the way, I think about 18,000 damage was done before anybody died. But I don't know. This is kind of chaos. Both teams seem to have gone for these aggressive pushes. They're playing as very condensed units. And it basically means the team that just picks right is winning.
At this moment in time, you're exactly right. They are very much wolf packing, sticking together. That time around, though, it got very, very mixy. aBeZy found himself in a good spot, but just read it wrong. Was expecting the transition over towards A, but here we go again. Same story. Subliners fall towards B.
Octane looking for this one. I can see Neptune as well, and Neptune's going to reach out him. Octane takes him down, but PaulEhx somehow finds that trade again. He's done it time and time in this S&D. PaulEhx with another one again.
And where's the comms there? They know where he is. The first initial shots come in, and Octane then runs forward. 2 versus 3 to stay in the game, Bryce.
It is very much on the LA Thieves for this one. PaulEhx is dancing around Palace, looking for it, eventually taken down by Drazah. A 2 versus 2. HyDra and Crimsix versus Kenny and Drazah. As all goes quiet on Desert Siege. LA Thieves feel this pressure. They know this is not an easy win, but they need this round to stay somewhat competitive, as HyDra's already found Kenny. And there's going to be a takedown as well. Now it falls on Drazah for a 1 versus 2. What is he going to do? 30 seconds left on the clock here to burn. New York with the advantage. He's been found. HyDra's trying to get away, and he has. And the sweat must be glistening off his brow right now because he is panicking and worried. But oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Like ships in the night. Drazah's trying to figure this one out. Oh my goodness, the timing! He does get Crimsix now down
he's got
to
time,
the 1
he's got
versus
time.
1.
It's HyDra.
Drazah, bomb down, HyDra to challenge, and he has managed to find him. And oh my word! Drazah pulls LA Thieves out of the fire, turns and burns HyDra to keep the dreams alive. And I tell you something, I'm sweating from that one.
I don't know how to break it down, to be frank. I don't know what to say. It was just chaos. It was living in the moment for both the players, playing off the very little information that either team had. The only thing that Drazah knew is that HyDra was around Palace somewhere. The shots initially come on through, and eventually he will find the kills. That's 3 kills for Drazah. Can that be the catalyst for Thieves to get back into this one?
Who knows? Who knows? But New York on the attack. And you can already see LA Thieves are spreading, ready for a retake. Bomb now down.
Are they going to expect 2? Are they going to expect 2? HyDra survives. The jig is up. If you're NYSL, you're going to turn around. You're going to do something about this. But HyDra's ready and win with the pistol inside a train. Does he get traded? aBeZy is there. Next kill is huge. aBeZy finds a second 3v2.
And he's looking for a Neptune, trying to stay alive. He needs to get out of here as well. He does, and Patterson goes down. It's now PaulEhx last alone, 1 versus 3. Finds the first. Going to try and look for the second here as well, but he gets taken down. That's aBeZy again. The Thieves remain alive as we go to a round 11. Thrills and spills and Desert Siege are going hand in hand at the major.
I've no clue, once again. It's just chaotic, and I think it's aBeZy, though, that finds those 2 kills on the flank. That's absolutely huge. The root man getting paid once more, and needs to get paid for the Thieves here. They have dragged this one back. Round 11 we go. The Thieves looking to steal map number 2. As we head into it once more, it's going to be Thieves on the attack. Can they bring this back and make a series of it?
Well, here we go. It's another big hit. LA Thieves throwing caution to the wind. They're going
right
straight for this as well. Crimsix is trying to deflect it. HyDra gets first blood on them. The bomb goes down. Neptune is going to go down now. Back to a 3 versus 3, and Thieves have chosen not to go for the plant. Crimsix to the back. They run straight into him. aBeZy's going to go down as well, and Thieves have lost their mind. They've run towards the guns of New York, and now Octane has to have an S on his chest. He needs to find a 1 versus 3 to not let them go down, and he can't even find the first one. New York Subliners go 2-0 up in this series. And oh my goodness, it is heads in hands for the Thieves.
Plant the bomb! Plant it! I don't understand. HyDra will find the first blood, but then all of a sudden Thieves get hot-headed and start running forward. And Crimsix is like, thank you very much. Easy kills will find the round there for the Subliners, but it has to be said, the fumble again. Octane has a mental performance. 26 engagements in a game of Search and Destroy blows my head off completely. 13 and 10. But it's not enough. It's really not enough. And again, these situational plays we talk about so many times with the Thieves. They're trolling, bro. I don't know what to tell you.
So, I kind of get what Thieves are doing. I can explain the theory behind it. Essentially, I believe they had worried they'd lost their flank. They had lost their flank, so they had to push it out. They didn't know where all of New York were. They only knew where Crimsix was. It was PaulEhx was the other player that kind of put the nail in the coffin. He had the crossfire, and they were trying to push through and gain control of that side of the map. They didn't have it, and honestly, yes, it looked chaotic. They run into the guns of the New York Subliners, and I'm sure maybe if they had held that flank for just a few seconds, they would have found out. But this series is not over, and it's been sweet so far. So join us right after the break for more action here at the Major.
Call of Duty League is brought to you by Zenny. Armor your eyes with Block's gaming glasses starting at $24 by visiting zenny.com/CDL.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Call of Duty League second major here in Minnesota. We have the New York Subliners going up against the Los Angeles Thieves. And it has been a barnstormer so far, but it is New York in the driving seat. They will be leading 2-0 in this one, and I've only just about recovered from that S&D ton.
I haven't yet. I'm sweating buckets up here, so I don't know about the players on the stage. What a game of Desert Siege that was. And so back and forth between these two teams, but the LA Thieves need a divine intervention here, it feels.
Well, they do, and that's Envoy's mother in the audience here, cheering on the team. Looking for redemption here at the major. And they have got a way to go, but it is not over yet. If anything has happened at this major so far, it's surprises and upsets. And we could be looking at one more. A reverse sweep is always on the cards.
Last two times that Thieves have played this map, Pricey, they haven't won a round.
Okay.
Look, it's not looked great for them on control whatsoever as of recent, but can they step it up here? Have they done the work in that week off that we did have in between the final week of stage 2 heading into the major? That's the question. As I said, we heard that things have been worked on. The team have been putting in their time, but is it for very, very little? Could you go out without a whimper here at major number 2 in Minnesota? It's a tough one, because when we were talking about the series beforehand, I give the map number 1. I felt relatively confident that they could snatch that one. They can't find it. Maps 2 and 3, I was feeling Subliners. So can they force a map 4 where things maybe get a little bit more interesting for the Thieves, but it's a tall order. As said, the last 6 rounds that they have played on this map specifically, they have not won a single one.
It's a horrible stat, by the way.
Well, it's a good one, though, isn't it?
All right, I'm saying the reverse sweep, and you come in with some wonderful reality. All right, well, let's find out, because it's never over till it's over. As we go onto the Tuscan control, you can see the unfortunate statistics for this one. New York Subliners 2-2, LA Thieves 1-6, but 0-6 in rounds the last 2 times they've played it.
It's not a good stat line to look out for Kenny, a 0.59. We need to see a lot more when we get into this one, but that's quite good. That's quite good. HyDra has been an absolute phenom all of his CDL career, had been the shining light for NYSL before the change, and he has just excelled and excelled. But here we go. Can Thieves start the comeback? You need to start doing it very, very quickly.
Well, already we hit loggerheads here straight away. New York going straight in for A, obviously. Very standard opening for them as well. Neptune will get 2. Eventually, though, will be rebuffed just a little bit.
HyDra can't find anything there. It's a good start for the Thieves here as everybody goes down. Drazah finding the kills and spreading themselves out. Finding another. As he now pushes forward, it's going to be a B hit coming in here for the Subliners, but the best of breaks coming in here for Thieves. Do they have anybody over towards that B side, though? Coming in off the respawns, getting that control over top church and radio is so crucial.
Octane just taking down PaulEhx, gives them a little bit of a breathing room. You can already see the plans come through as well, but Octane will go down. HyDra gets the player who goes to P5 flank, and yes, it is a little bit bad. At the moment, it's just going to be a bit of a regain here for LA Thieves, and that big kill from Envoy will do it. They are holding actually quite successfully. I will say this, LA Thieves has not given them a single tick yet, but it will be HyDra again. Staying alive.
Look, Thieves commit everything back towards B. Looking like A is kind of choked up unless they can find the kills. HyDra is still going over towards B, being an absolute menace. But the job is kind of done there for the Subliners. Yes, okay, the push to B, they get very little for it, but Thieves have to answer that call. And over towards A they go, and PaulEhx keeps on going. Exactly like he has been all throughout his NYSL short career. His kills coming in here for the Thieves, though. They will get a little bit of map control. And you can see them forcing their way through. You can see Kenny getting aggressive with the rest of his team. Mid-map, B control. Very, very important. Drazah having a good game so far.
He certainly has eventually just got slapped around the face by Neptune, though. Kenny going to be looking for these players on the flank and does do exactly that. LA Thieves going to be looking for a few more kills and make it difficult here for New York. But minimap-wise, HyDra is being an issue again.
If you're NYSL, you wait for HyDra to maybe engage and find some kills. He's giving up some presence towards the back, though, as he backtracks his way through to help his team get on through. HyDra will expect this from Octane. No, he will not. And now they need to clear out their spawn. Octane is there just being nuisance. Staying alive is the perfect job.
Crimsix decides not to have any of that. Pulls out the MP40 and puts feet to it as well. Just goes straight towards the back and takes that Envoy. Eventually will be rebuffed again. LA Thieves secure their own lines. It was an ambitious challenge coming in from them. But lives are all equal and there is a lot of time here on the clock.
So the game will slow down now. minute to go. The only thing is here for Thieves, though, they got no presence over towards Church or in Radial. So if they lose these gunfights, they're in a terrible, terrible spot. You need to lock in. If you're Drazah, you need to go huge because the setup's there. The grenade comes in. Neptune will be the first. Can anybody win a second? That's a big kill onto Paul as Crimsix will answer back.
And the problem with that one is it has slowed down New York completely.
Play them out.
That has ruined the push from New York. They're going to have one more opportunity at this. And Thieves know it as well. Keep an eye on what they're doing. This is going to be an absolute wall they might run into. So many players coming through. PaulEhx is going to find the first as well, though. The trades are now coming in as well. Kenny gets it shut down. And here comes HyDra. He finds one. It's not going to be enough. The trade comes through. And it's now a 1 versus 2. But Neptune had to get across the map, kill 2 players, or cap it. And I don't know if he's even going to get there in time.
I don't think he does. Get your Nikes on and get running. 1 second. Ooh, it's not far off. He still had a lot to do. Calm down, crowd. He had a lot to do. He had a lot to do. But nonetheless, with the Subliners there, that's not the best of attacking rounds for the Thieves. You do not let any ticks go in towards B. No segments have been captured. So best case scenario, you kind of appreciate the fact you're likely going to lose A. That was fine. You do not let anything go on over towards B. I believe that New York were quite close at one point at the beginning of the round. But can they answer in turn and get a segment over towards B on this attacking round, if not just win it?
Well, already big fights coming in. Drazah trying to take down Crimsix towards the back, but not really getting anything going as PaulEhx finds 2 towards mid as well. Drazah trying to just stop the clock here maybe for a second, but it just holds off actually. And that kind of baits Neptune into it. You can already see that's a fast tick coming in for them as well. And Drazah is going to try and take the control here.
Drazah, oh my god, the snap on the Crimsix. Giving the old man the skates back there, my goodness. But PaulEhx, the young gun now coming in for NYSL. Kenny will find one. Can he find Crimsix as well? Yes, he can. Locking it in here for there's 100 Thieves, but cannot get anything done here. The shots in for Octane are good. I'm just the only one who can answer back. But a lot of progress made over towards here for the Subliners.
Well, I'll tell you something, it's a little bit back and forth here as well. Crimsix now going to push up and found with the flank, and everybody's doing it. Flank over and over and over again. That first capture should come in towards A here. LA Thieves will have done it, and they've done it with a life advantage. Kenny trying to get towards the back here. Crimsix desperately hunting him down as he's weak. And Kenny does get the rechal in, but it's not going to be enough here. Drazah now trying to find a hole himself, and not going to be good enough. The battle lines are redrawn here between these 2 teams. LA Thieves now going to be looking for the next push.
Plenty of control here for Subliners over towards map side. It's a position you want to be in, but what is the play here for Thieves? I'd imagine Crim will be very stubborn towards the back here as he does actually back on down, giving a little bit of control over towards it. Kenny with the shots in, and I imagine grenades will be finding their way over towards Crim. Potent kills are going to come in these next few seconds.
HyDra got one towards the back here, surely not. Oh my goodness, HyDra! Not quite able to get that one though, but it has opened the door. New York are now going to try and push through, and it has. Crimsix looking for 1, looking for 2. God. Says thank you very much as PaulEhx cleans them up here. And Thieves just not really able to toe the line.
Look at Neptune as well. Push very far up. Thieves are going to clear out their backline before they get to do anything. Envoy will be the first to fall, and Neptune, if he can just even survive, this is a good spot for him to be in because he can't flank. But Octane will find 2 towards the point. Crimsix will find 2 back himself on the mini-map. That's 6 in a row now for Crimsix. Can he make it 7 for the glide bomb? Not quite. Drazah will push on through. The flank's going to start coming on through very, very shortly, but Neptune inside the point, defending as well as he can. Can he find any more? My goodness, the third would have been absurd, but Thieves eventually find a way in.
Crimsix looking at this player, just throwing those rounds through the doorway. Eventually has to switch to the pistol. Has the MP40, picks it up as well and takes it down. And Crimsix maybe one of the old guns, but Gunny looking 18 in this game. LA Thieves will eventually get that first segment on the board here.
Huge. Neptune's being taken down from behind, but HyDra survives. We'll find Drazah. Crimsix was with a huge nade as well. And NYSL will survive. LA Thieves maybe have one more push in them. Kenny, I would have liked to see him survive maybe a little bit more towards the back. 5v5 in lives. 30 seconds remaining. A final push coming in for the Thieves.
This is huge for the Thieves. If they can find anything else now, they might be able to do it. Neptune already taking down 1, taking down the second. Can he get 1 back?
Oh my God!
Neptune just shuts it down completely. It's a 3 versus 2. Make that a 1 versus 3. Envoy last alive, sitting in no man's land. No real opportunity. PaulEhx is just playing with him, and eventually will take him down. New York do get the defense, but these rounds are wild.
Yeah, they're wild, and they're really coming down to the wire when it does come down to these respawns remaining. you've got to be careful if you are these squads, because it's a couple of kills here or there, and it could be a very, very different scoreline. Either team could plausibly be up 2-0 here, but the defensive team's winning out. And I don't believe there was a tick there over towards the B side for the Thieves on that attack, or maybe was it just the one? Did they actually get over towards it? We will get that confirmed from our production side, but if that is the case, then that is a positive for Thieves out of those first 2 rounds.
At the moment, Thieves not going too heavy towards A. They're just going to be waiting for this retake, and Drazah gets that first kill down. That's going to worry New York. And they have to look in many, many different directions. PaulEhx, the only player left to stay alive, and somehow finds 2. Stay alive looking for Octane as well. Surely not eventually cut down, but HyDra's gone rogue. He's all the way towards B, and Envoy shuts him down before any magic can happen.
That could have been a pain. And the Subliners found HyDra in and around the Thieves' spawn. Now for the case of NYSL to move over towards A. Drazah trying to do something. That's a fat grenade into the middle will deter HyDra for just a moment. It's going to have to be the retake once more as Drazah will find the opening kill. Can the rest of Thieves get something done here? Plenty of mid-map control, but they've kind of let things slip through over towards B, and imagine that NYSL will take that open door.
Already they're just trying to be a little bit more aggressive here. You can see though, New York have a plan. They're going to try and enact it here as well. HyDra does not win that gunfight. That would have been huge, and LA Thieves rip off everybody but Neptune. And Neptune trying to stay alive here now. Essentially New York can go towards A, but Neptune is eventually going to go down towards B. And New York are struggling a little bit here to get anything going, Ton.
Yeah, they haven't got anything in it. Yeah, the side of Thieves, keeping them off A as long as possible. If you can stop them even getting a hold of it, it's absolutely massive for that round 5 that you do want to hold off. HyDra trying to do something for his squad, but momentarily he's the only one remaining, and it may well be enough. Finds 2 over towards A, just negates that pressure. Octane is the next one in the blender, not quite. But New York find themselves pushed up the map thanks to HyDra finding those 2 kills. A little bit of purchase over towards A. Only 18 seconds remaining though. Do Thieves maybe risk it for one final push to stop it happening?
I think they're going to. They've got the life advantage anyway. And Drazah's going for this flank. They're going to try and stop everything coming through, and it will be Drazah.
Huge.
Shuts it down, and New York now have to throw caution to the wind. The push through P5, it's rapid, it's fast, it's Crimsix already with 1. HyDra's going to recheck this as well.
Hold on.
New York has somehow found a gap. There's nobody here for LA Thieves. That first tick is going straight on to B already. Surely they're not going to capture this and rip away the hopes and dreams of them eventually though, but Octane finds 2, and that may be the dagger in the side. New York have lost all of this control. They have managed to find 2 ticks on the B and 1 onto A, and that's what they've got to take away from this. It's technically didn't capture A point, but together they did.
Well, that's the thing though, because Thieves are now going to go into this round, and even if they capture A fully, they will have defense for round number 5. It's a +2 advantage for NYSL heading into this round, but it's the turn of Thieves to attack. So if they can just get a hold of A, they will get defense on round number 5 if we do get there, but some of these rounds have been crazy. They've been a little bit wild towards the end. And Thieves, this is much better in the control. They hadn't won a round in the last 2 times that they played this. They find themselves up 2-1, advantage in hand. NYSL might have it, but Thieves have got the opportunity.
Already again, it kicks off towards A. LA Thieves, this first tick comes in. That'll take away a little bit of New York's advantage straight away. You can see them already, the pressure coming through at the same time. Envoy, he's 17-23, but I feel like every time we see a big impactful play come through, it's him as Neptune somehow finds 2 as well. Bear in mind here, Thieves have to find these ticks somewhere.
Can Subliners have a humongous round to maybe force the defense to go their way? Everything going over towards B, everything dying for the Thieves. These gunfights not working out, and I'd imagine that is just a little bit of pressure that will then invite some pressure over towards A. You can see the rest of the Thieves that will go down. Will be coming off the respawn queue, but the rest of the team are pushing over towards A, and who is waiting is PaulEhx. But it will be Octane to find the kill. Can HyDra find a break on the flank?
Well, they already know he's here. That stun is going to be a problem, but apparently not. HyDra gets 1. LA Thieves pinned in towards their spawn at the moment. New York refusing to relinquish even a millimeter of ground. PaulEhx again, finds the first, looks for Octane. Octane's going to reach out and does eventually win it. And that has now opened the path. LA Thieves can finally make some progress here towards... Oh, never mind! Never mind! Neptune with a long bomb has taken them down! And now New York are crushing them!
Right now, Subliners have defense in round number 5. If they can lock this in, they're in a good spot. They're holding absolutely everything, and HyDra is absolutely skating around tiles.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh my goodness! New York said, hey, we see you had the tick advantage. How about you get none this time? As HyDra continues to rip away their defense decisive round.
Have they got
And now
time?
they have to push. They are leaping, they are jumping, but they found PaulEhx, and they have got absolutely nothing in their
Oh,
attack.
they're in here. Envoy finds the kill. This could be huge. The lives remaining are only 2. No, he jumps off to point.
I jumped off the point. Why? Why have you done this? I don't understand. It must have been just a miscalculation.
I mean, they had 2 lives. They had 2 lives remaining. Like, I mean, it would have been tough. But what a round. Neptune went 10 in a row. What?
Unbelievable.
How can you let that happen if you think you literally need to capture A to get defense in round number 5? But as it goes, it's New York to lock it in. 10 in a row for Neptune, 4 in a row for Paul. To shut down Thieves is pretty much guaranteed defense of round number 5, but they've got to do it on the attack to stay in the major.
Well, they haven't done it yet. Can they do it this time? Could be the very final roll of the dice for the LA Thieves. Already getting that first dig over towards A.
Much better. Are they ready for HyDra? Through the middle, the majority of the kills coming through here for the AR players. They're forcing their way through over towards the back as well. HyDra may be the one to shut down this push over towards A. Doesn't find anything though. Still chasing the kill. As Thieves get a few kills and get a little bit of purchase over towards the spawn, but that's been shut down entirely. Not a bad start for the Thieves here in the attacking roundup.
You can see they're already looking for this push towards B. Neptune's going to try and shut them down. Had an absolute monster of a round last time. And Thieves have managed to get through. They've got 3 players towards B here, and this is dangerous. They make a single wave of kills. It could flip this game on its head. They're looking for it as well. Envoy's found one. Octane's got the pre-fire as well. He finds Crimsix. They're looking for it. That second hit comes in. He shoots his teammate. That's how much they're ready to gun, and he goes down. Drazah's here as well, though. The LA Thieves have got numbers. B is about to go towards them, and that is so dangerous. Envoy, another kill for them.
I do not believe it.
And somehow LA Thieves have got it. They've got B. A is now ticking forward, and Thieves have found something in the dying seconds of this game. LA Thieves running up on the control, and my voice is gone. Oh my God!
Words escape me. Time and time again when it's come to this series, it's felt dead and buried. But how does that happen? There's a complete collapse from Thieves in round number 4, and then New York go, oh yeah, okay, hold my beer. What was that? Drazah goes huge. We've got a series. And finally we see some life from the side of LA Thieves. And it's about goddamn time.
I don't even know where to begin with this series. We said the teams are fighting for their lives here at the major. And they really are. They are scrapping. They are clawing and biting their way through. But to go on an attacking round getting no ticks, to getting all 6.
I don't even know where to start, to be frank with you. Look, Drazah and Co start going huge, and I think for the side of NYSL, if we were to rewind back to that one to try and regain some sort of composure in this one, they had so much mid-map control. But for the side of Thieves, they found a route through some way, somehow. And because the fact that NYSL are up mid-map, they don't probably have any utility to find those grenades to slow it down. So Thieves say, well, screw this, stack the point. It starts going quickly. They then win their gunfights. And then from there, NYSL are fighting off the back foot. They're coming in swinging, but it's not enough. Thieves honestly did not deserve to win that map based on what happened. But what an insane end to that one. And thank God we have a series on our hands. We said they may be going out with a whimper, but that was very much a roar to get themselves back into this game. But for the Subliners, that's one you will look back on potentially and sort of say, we should be winning that game when into round number 5. They should have even had defense on round number 5, to be fair, but they bring it back. They do the hard work, and they just fall to pieces. Unbelievable.
I understand nothing about Call of Duty anymore.
No.
Nothing makes any sense.
Honestly, I try to get up here and try and speak smart words, give some sort of knowledge, but I don't even know what I could possibly say about that one. Neptune went on a 10 spree for the L. I mean, what? I honestly am absolutely bewildered. Tuscan Control does quite often offer up interesting rounds and interesting games, but Drazah, this is it. I'm not being funny. He absolutely smokes HyDra there. gives him the drop shot. I don't think HyDra was born when the drop shot was invented, and Drazah says thank you very much. And that is a humongous kill in the grand scheme of LA Thieves this season, as they find themselves back into the game with a control win. And the best thing is we stay on Tuscan.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why we come to the majors. I tell you something, LA Thieves were a very, very small amount away from leaving this major and it all being disastrous. After that last round, after they got 0 ticks, they went, it's done, it's got to be done, it's got to be out, but they threw all caution to the wind. They won every gunfight they needed to on B.
And the thing is as well, how many times we've talked about Thieves' general gameplay and how they played the game is relatively decent, but it's their situational players where they have the advantage, and it's just not like, you know, they had absolutely no advantage there, by the way. I have no idea how they turned that round to win that attacking round. They did not even look remotely like, they didn't even get a single segment in the previous round. And then all of a sudden they're capturing B about 30 seconds in. Just a complete contrast to how things can go on control and attacking rounds. And they force themselves to play a map 4, maybe even a map number 5, to stay in the major. And I think one thing that I will go towards maybe on a mental side of things there, that is humongous for the Thieves. That is the momentum that you possibly need. And for the Subliners, I mean, yeah, you're still a little bit smiling, maybe they're fine, but there's got to be a part of them there that's saying, this should be over.
Well, we are going into map number 4, the hard point, and surely it cannot be another nail biter. I mean, I don't know if I'll survive another nail biter, to be honest.
I mean, that doesn't look like good viewing for the Subliners, let's be honest. But over stage 2, Thieves went 1 and 2. They're outslayed in every single game. They beat Seattle on this map in potentially not necessarily one they thought they would win. Outslayed in that one, but NYSL have only played it once with Paul and lost heavily, and I mean heavily, towards London. So as of recent, if we're talking recency bias, it's not looking necessarily fantastic for either team, but Thieves will take it away with the fact that their record is much, much better than the side of this New York Subliners side. Can they convert that into a win here in map number 4?
Already, the initial gunfight's going down towards A. See Kenny just having a little bit of a fight towards mid-map. Going to be taken down by PaulEhx. Will be the Subliners to get this first breath of time. As Neptune is already going for the pre-fire, but it's not going to be good enough. The trade will come through though eventually. Still going to be New York in control.
Absolutely great start for New York. That's the kind of rebuttal that you want when things don't go your way at map number 3 in dramatic fashion. It's a really good start. It's a flawless start, it has to be said. 30 points without question. Here we go, HyDra on these routes. Envoy's going to be there, ready and waiting and find that kill. Going to be the final 15, potentially going over towards the Thieves here, as the rest of Subliners are going to have to push through maps.
Look for it, you can see already that rotation coming through. PaulEhx, the first one, Octane throwing everything in the kitchen sink as PaulEhx continues to just burn his way through LA players. And this is the difference here, New York are cooking.
Oh, they've completely broke that, that's far too easy. As Thieves fall, Subliners find themselves in a good spot to lock down a lot of time here. 50 seconds to go. Over towards P2, the kills start coming in here for the Thieves. Prevent Subliners from getting a great deal, but it was Thieves with that rotation. They've done very little for it. Now they're spawning towards the back. They need to make the most of these spawns.
Well, as you can see now, HyDra just trying to stay alive here as well. He knows there's going to be pressure coming through. He's waiting for his teammates at the same time. Drazah gets one though. And you can tell both teams are now thinking about this rotation. Obviously, Tuscan B3 has changed in recent memory, so it's not as big of a hill as it used to be, but both teams will still want it.
These rotational kills are going to be important once more. PaulEhx is the only one here momentarily for the side of Subliners, but Drazah already presuming that they will be there, and well, he was sort of right. PaulEhx eventually does get there, and it's Subliners' hold to lose. Thieves are here in numbers though. Can they get anything done? The answer is no, imminently. As only Envoy can find a kill over towards Scrap, and another.
And this is it, now the pressure coming in, and Thieves looking for this break. They are surrounding it every single way they can do. PaulEhx gets one though, Drazah gets another. And already now pushing onto the side. PaulEhx again, by the way. Over and over again, he is gunning LA Thieves in every scenario they put him in. As LA Thieves wind up for another one, they've still got to get past him.
It's really hard to try and get somebody off the back, and then Neptune is up in your face, finding the kills where he can. This has been such a good hold by Subliners. They're going to take about 50-point lead heading over towards P4. While Thieves continue to try and fight it, yes they will, and they will negate that pressure. And it's all about the fight with Kenny now, heading over towards the church. Thieves, thankfully for them, get some sort of scrap. But Kenny has got to be the ace in the hole here. It is actually going to be Octane. Maybe get caught on the flank there. Is he going to find the kill? Going up against HyDra. This is an important gunfight, and it will be Neptune that finds it. But Kenny towards the back is important. He's going to die. Good transition for the New York Subliners.
And they keep doing this as well, by the way. They are looking like a better team, but the score does not really reflect it at the moment. It's very, very close. New York still in control here, still winning the slaying game. LA Thieves getting ready for this pinch, though you can see on the minimap will be Kenny, who will have to be the catalyst. They're looking for him. He's going to try and thrust in here as well, but he gets shut down. Not really able to make anything of that play. Octane trying to make himself known here as well. Manages to get into it. Neptune fighting for him as well. And again, it's New York. Again, they managed to win the slaying game.
The rotational battles have very much been New York's way every single time. Thieves need to find themselves something going here. Drazah and Kenny combining well, though. That would be Neptune not getting the streak because of a really big gunfight win by the Thieves. That could be important. But for all that, it's felt like the majority of NYSL have dominated this map so far. That lead is not insurmountable for the Thieves yet. 10 seconds to go, over towards P4. But P5, so far, Thieves are the second best team in the game at locking down this hill. If they can get themselves in, New York might struggle.
Wow, that's the game plan. Let's see if they can get it done, and it's going to be Octane who goes wide, goes wild, and that stun is going to let them know here already. They know he's coming for them as well. Crimsix gets two, shuts it down, PaulEhx gets two, and it's New York in the kill feed one more time. And LA Thieves are going to have to try and figure out how to break this. They have to get through all of these players as they push out.
New York have been the first team there every single hill so far. Thieves are constantly fighting off the back foot, and well, they may well come out swinging. Look at these kills going to start coming on through here, and that's momentarily 4 dead. So there's 25 seconds to fight for here. NYSL are going to have a look. They're going to fight for the scrap.
What? What? How on earth are these kills coming through? I don't understand. I thought Thieves had it there with the crossfire eventually, but LA Thieves will hold that one down as we go all the way back to P1.
Octane takes HyDra out of this equation, and Crimsix is there to answer back, though, and Neptune will be there alongside him to fight the kills. Envoy can't get church control. Rotation and a tiny bit of scrap will go over towards New York Subliners. And if Thieves can start rotating and start looking in these hills, they can get back into this game. They've limited Subliners to not that much, but for the most part, they're getting out-rotated.
Oh, that team kill from Crimsix could prove just a little bit of an issue here. You can see LA Thieves are ready to sack this one as well. HyDra stands in the way, though, not able to get the second one. Crimsix does eventually find him. Envoy now flooding back into this hill. 37 seconds left on it. And they are desperate for this time. They want back in this game. They are not that far behind with it.
You're very right on that. Again, I will reiterate the point. Subliners on the rotation have been somewhat flawless, but only a 30 or 40 point lead from that is maybe not good enough. Thieves, by some way, are still in this game. They really shouldn't be with the way that Subliners have been playing. That the scrap time is going to be fighted over, and it is going to be NYSL that come out on top. And who's going to be there on the rotation? It's going to be NYSL once more. Can Thieves continue to break and continue to keep this close?
Well, you can see already Neptune's going to be set up, trying to just deflect any of the pressure. Envoy going to come through as well, but this will be the big hit. Can they get through it at the same time? Envoy, no! Taken down before he can do too much damage. Now Crimsix is looking for Drazah up top. Drazah has found two himself. And they look desperately as both teams try to figure out exactly where everybody is, and it's LA Thieves, who were not there on the rotation, have broken through and have now have control.
It feels like we're watching London at the very beginning of the game where it didn't rotate, they just tried to break, but Thieves are behind at this point. NYSL trying to find a route through here. Control here for Neptune to try and just disfigure what is going on here. But Drazah and Kenny will start to find a little bit more. There's that life as Drazah finds a 5 spray. Rotation going to start coming in a second. Subliners are set up heavily towards the side of LA Thieves. Thieves starting to bring this back now, though, Brycey. The kill's starting to come through. Can they turn this around?
Well, let's find out how LA Thieves, who are playing for their tournament, sound with a listening.
I'm Bobby right now, guys. One to the back on still, one behind me in the back. Yo, useless weak. Useless weak. Mid lane, PaulEhx dead. Nice, useless weak. Alright, top and useless, top and useless. He's top. Mid lane, I dropped the nade, bro. I'm going top. Mid lane, we go hill. I'm spawning back. Everybody behind us. I'm gonna get square, give me a second. Mid lane down. Top. 82 mid lane. Alright, Tom, post, Colin, Crimp. And now mid lane. Useless. I'm nailed top. IB2, IB. I'm nailed top. We go hill. Ivy challenging. Another mid.
Nice. Spawn everyone.
Yeah, Roof.
I hear in the back.
Okay. Jumping maps. They
I'm
give me one.
Absolute.
I'll play for the Gauntlet.
Absolute.
Okay.
I'm in charge. Play for
Drazah has been just causing chaos on this game. We are down to a very small margin between these two teams. We've headed into church, and I don't know what's going to happen.
Thieves, pray to whatever god you actually support right now, but that's actually going to be the transitional kills coming on through. It's only Crimsix who can answer back. And that's beautiful from the side of Thieves. They lock down the majority of the time in P3. They break P4 flawlessly. And Church, they can now lock it in. We've got a 20-point game. Could Thieves potentially take the lead? They're lighting up the kill feed here, Bryce.
Yes, at the moment, they're not really getting anything. Crimsix to get a team kill coming through. HyDra does go one as well, but it's still going to be Thieves. Thieves have this here, and keep an eye out because it will not end on this hill, but P5 is coming up as Thieves have just not let them step foot in the door, and they take the lead for the first time in a long time. And already we can see the rotation coming through. Crimsix will try to get the last one in the church, but already LA Thieves are here. They're ready for P5.
As said, last rotation we talked about it. P5, they are the second best team of the game and locking in these kills. And momentarily, that's 3 dead for the side of Subliners. Can HyDra be the hero for his team? Still staying alive. How on earth is he still alive? His Thieves eventually locking the time, but here come NYSL.
Oh, they're punching through the door as well as Kenny gets two. Thieves are trying for it, and you know New York are panicking. They're throwing bodies at this one as well. They are desperate to get in. LA Thieves are throwing up the fence. They're throwing up the walls, the barriers, the gunfights. They are not letting New York come anywhere near P5. They can end it here, Ton.
One more push for the Subliners if you don't want the Thieves to end it here, but Envoy is kicking off, and it's Neptune. The only one left momentarily that's anywhere near it. He can't even land a bullet as Elliot Thieves screaming back to this one. Crimsix will find two though. He needs to break through. Thieves can win it here. They can still win it here.
Oh my goodness, they're gonna have to try and contest. They can't. LA Thieves gun once again. They have the numbers, and the LA Thieves are running it up. They are taking it to a map number 5. The hope is not dead. They have not gone quietly into the night. They refuse to dip out of this major. All the statistics, every bit of information we have given you told us this was impossible. But today, impossible is nothing, and the reverse sweep is firmly on the cards.
And Subliners, you out-rotated them nearly every single hill.
And we're gonna watch this. Call this the Wall of Thieves. HyDra tried a 5 streak for him in P5, begun it. For the second best team at P5 in the game said, hey, this is one statistic we can do. This is one thing we are good at so far, and you will not come into P5 today.
They do such a good job. It's Envoy initially who finds these kills, but then they just spread their wings just a little bit, start to cause some chaos. They've got their cooks, they're working together so well. And just multiple times these clutch kills come on through. I think Envoy maybe finds 6 or 7 kills on that final hill. And then Neptune is left to do it all on his own. But again, just to reiterate, I know teams do well here, and it was so important that they started to lock in some of these hills. But the rotational battle there, I would love to see the statistics. Because it felt like Subliners could not do wrong. They couldn't do wrong. They were winning the rotational fights. They were locking in the hills. But the points, they just weren't totaling up for them. They weren't finding them. Thieves made it as awkward as possible, and that turnaround gets the job done. A 34-25 game out of Kenny will force them at number 5. Somehow, some way, Thieves have found their way to this final map.
Every single member of the LA Thieves has come under fire during the last 3 weeks. Every single member has been talked about of being dropped, but today when it counts at the major, they are going hard.
I think we need a breather before map number 5, because what a series this has been. No more of these boring games at all. This has been crazy for both of these teams. Pricey, honestly, I have no idea how this map 5 is going to go. My goodness.
Well, it's that old adage, only time will tell. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back for our map 5 here at the major. We'll see you right after this.
The Call of Duty League is brought to you by Game Fuel. Victory in a can.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Call of Duty League. We are live at the Major here in Minnesota, and we have a game on our hands. It's been a thrill ride, and the crowd has been beautiful, but not quite as beautiful as the gameplay we've seen on screen. We are going to a map number 5 here in New York versus LA Thieves, Ton, and oh my goodness.
What a game, number 4 and 3 that was specifically. It felt like Thieves have finally awoken. Is the reverse sweep on the cards? Zidwab thinks so. Is it going to go that way? Thank you very much to everybody joining us here in the crowd, of course, at home, for what has been the first map 5 of the series, coming up in just a second, and probably the best series we've seen so far here at this major. What a game this has been. And it's kind of felt like NYSL have always been in control, but somehow in some way Thieves have finally found something to bring it back to a map number 5. We will be heading over to Tuscan for Search and Destroy, and I have no predictions for this. I have nothing for you at this moment in time. With the way that this series has went, I think you'd be foolish to really bet on anything. I've got more chance of doing work in the casino later on tonight than having any sort of look at predicting this one.
Well, one last time. New York Subliners, LA Thieves, map number 5. And it can only be good. We're going into Tuscan again. For New York, a chance to do better than they did last time around in the major. For LA Thieves, a chance to prove everybody wrong. The last seed coming in, for the reverse sweep is in on the cards. It is written in the stars, but we will have to find out. On board then with New York.
Well, here we go. The map 5 records for LA Thieves is not nice reading. You've been here plenty of times. Is experience going to be the mold that brings you into the ascendancy? It's a big air hit coming in here for the side of NYSL. Octane's grenade will be good though. First blood to the Thieves.
They're a little bit stuck now as well. They don't really want to challenge Octane, but they have managed to put some bullets on him. That's going to make him back up here as well. HyDra's going to go down to Drazah. At the moment, it's LA Thieves.
Looking good, 2v4. But these situations are never clean cut for the side of Thieves, and maybe now as Crimsix gets removed of his brain matter as Drazah. That was the final one in PaulEx's sights, maybe, though PaulEhx being the final one here for NYSL. It's a 1v4, now a 1v3 on the cards. Thieves, you couldn't, could you? Oh, that shot isn't far off.
And they're peeking him. They will eventually take him down. LA Thieves draw first blood here on the Search and Destroy.
Good plays from Octane there. Those snipes down the outside will really make the difference, but Drazah finding that fight in the middle gets the job done, really, for the side of Thieves. PaulEhx always in a difficult spot, but there you go. First blood percentage has really been something that Thieves have struggled with. Converting those first bloods, they're the worst team in the league at it. They've done it once, can they continue to do so?
The atmosphere, it's so tense here, you can cut it with a knife. Both these two teams want this so badly. Already gone down, PaulEhx will get the first blood that time around. Envoy does manage to get one back here, but the pressure is coming through. New York trying to make moves, and it is going to be the French Phenom. That's down Drazah.
That's bomb as well. Huge for the Subliners to initiate that. Thieves now. We're going to try and maybe find a pick. I would slow this one down. A little bit of information will go over there, but for the Subliners, did they know that bomb was down there? Because now Octane has a hold of that. The notification would have been there for the Subliners that the enemy has picked up the bomb. But did they have the info? Octane moving over towards the side as PaulEhx. Has he got sight on it? It looks that way, but is the cover going to be there? It's not going to be there imminently. And PaulEhx will find the important kill, 1v3 here for Envoy.
Gonna try and find something here. The problem is, he's gonna want to plant the bomb at some point. And can't even find this first kill. New York like ghosts on this map, just can't find it. Eventually will. No! Shut down before he can even start. Does anything to clutch, but it's still a game. 1-1 between these two teams now.
Clean rounds from both teams so far. Not really offering maybe even an inch to either one of the opposition. It's been about the snipers finding those first bloods. This time around it was Paul who found the opening at the beginning of the round. That makes the difference there for NYSL. Which way is it going to go this time? 4-1 for Paul, 2-1 for Octane. Paul getting the job done in that final round. It may well have even been Close to an ace. It was definitely 3, but here we go. Drazah ready to win. HyDra removed of his head once more. And Neptune, though, as well in a bad spot. PaulEhx is able to answer back here, but Drazah trying to stay alive.
Oh, he's worried. He's managed to get away through the P5 for just a few seconds here. Has a little bit of reinforcements. But now Neptune going to be left in a 1 versus 2. It was a 1 versus 3. Is there any magic? A little bit of Tusker magic already. Kenny does find him, though. And he's going to use those boots of Hermes to try and get away.
He's done well here. The fact that he got out now, the information is really not there for the Thieves. Are they going to fall foul to this one? Neptune, you watch what you're doing! Oh my God! Big brain!
Ginormous brain, incredible patience. Unbelievable for 1 versus 3 for Neptune. And the entire arena just sucked all the oxygen out of this room by holding their breath at the same time.
He held his shot for just long enough. And for the LA Thieves, these are the situations we've talked about so many times that have not went their way. It does not go their way once more. And Subliners have themselves a lead. Neptune's on a 3 spree. And Thieves fall behind for the first time in this game.
Looking for it, though. A lot of pressure coming through. Crimsix will now call that out. And you see New York are going to have to react to it.
They're one of the teams that like going towards B on this map. There's not many of them. But they do like to strategize around this point. 30% of their attacks head towards the B site. And Octane will open it up with a kill on the Crimsix 4v3. This is huge.
Bobbing, dipping, weaving, and now going to try and just wait for this pressure to come through as well. That is bombed down. Advantage LA.
They get out after planting that bomb as well. That's huge for the side of LA. Neptune now trying to find a route through PaulEhx from this position as well, but the sniper isn't really going to offer a great deal as Envoy finds 1, Envoy finds 2, and HyDra now left in a 1 versus 3 with a bomb diffuser on his hands. Good luck. There you go. Big round from Envoy. And again, as I just said, I just alluded to it, Thieves do not mind a B hit. I said 30% of their rounds on the attack that go towards this site. NYSL not necessarily doing their homework there.
Well, I don't know. Can this game end in anything but a round 11?
Well, I think it would be very, very rude for the players if they didn't do that. I'll be frank.
We'll see. Anything can happen. These two teams are putting everything on the line today. Let's find out. On the attack here with the New York Subliners again. Octane already having to get out of it. Neptune does get Drazah though already. PaulEhx gets another one and LA Thieves are reeling. All of a sudden, this round has been ripped away from them, Ton.
Shock and all from the Subliners, straight down mid-map and just throwing digs. For the LA Thieves now, a 2 versus 4. First kill here for them is absolutely huge. Can Octane find it? HyDra just throwing shoulders and will just continue to do so. Don't offer them absolutely anything. Subliners, it's a clean round. Thanks to those opening kills that come on through, it makes their life very, very easy. Thieves, not able to answer there.
Wow. 3-2 now up for New York. And that was a clean round, Ton. You are right. We'll see, though. Can LA Thieves answer back in any sort of fashion?
And most of the rounds have been very one-sided outside of that Neptune 1 versus 2. Been clinical from both these two teams in their wins. So far, though, it is New York who have been ever so slightly more clinical in this situation. Look at this from Thieves, though. Are they going to be ready here for NYSL? HyDra will find first blood, 4v3.
Neptune, though, on the cusp here. Big fight about to come in. Envoy shuts the door in his face.
Nope.
Says, no, I'm okay not chatting that as well. However, doesn't matter. HyDra answers back, though. Sniper again. Kenny eventually takes him down. And this brings it down to a 2 versus 2. What on earth just happened over at P5?
The sniper holding it down for HyDra. Does get traded out. Kenny,
PaulEhx hits him with a movement. And now Octane in a 1 versus 2.
Oh, this is so hard. Will he know Crimsix is on the outside? Very little information to play with here. The reload comes in at the wrong time. PaulEhx, the X factor for NYSL there.
Oh, he's feeling it too.
That's a huge kill on the Kenny and Top Church. You know, if that turns around, it's a very, very different situation. You're in a 2v1 with a bomb to plant. But PaulEhx, the question has never been about the gunny Kenny.
Unbelievable. New York now up 4-2 in the S&D. And LA Thieves They're gonna be feeling the pressure. They've done so much work up until this point. They've brought it back all the way to a map number 5. And it is going to be PaulEhx, the new player. However, already Drazah's taken down 2. And Subliners are in a little bit of trouble.
Really, really good adaptation from the side of the LA Thieves there. NYSL will get super aggressive down the middle of the map both rounds, whether it be attack or defense. And Thieves match them fire with fire. Crimsix now in a 1 versus 3. Not going to happen. That is flawless from the Thieves. A really, really good adaptation. Because NYSL have been taking over that mid-map. Drazah says, absolutely not this time.
Well, that's what they needed to answer back. And as these just hitting the hard counter. And we'll see as we go back into it for New York here again. Truly, the tides of battle are turning every single round. The reverse sweep on the cards for LA Thieves, staying alive for the New York Subliners. Let's find out. Let's find out on board once again. Here's HyDra with the sniper.
PaulEhx was clearly not feeling it with the sniper. Seems as if the auto is getting the job done. HyDra changes over to that. He's on the outside over towards A, but Thieves with a slow, steady attack coming up through, and the artillery being hidden towards Top Church. Will they expect the corner? Well, if he isn't Top Church, he's got to be somewhere. Neptune falls. PaulEhx challenges. 3v3.
Well, they managed to get it 3 versus 2. Kenny has managed to get it here, even with PaulEhx and Crimsix trying to do something.
He's on the cards.
LA Thieves, though, moving in force, moving in numbers. And it's going to be New York who have to clutch it this time around. That bomb is going down. They're going to know LA Thieves have taken advantage of it. And the pinch is going to come in.
Advantageous situation for the Thieves. It's been such a struggle for them in their search and destroy to try and close out these moments. Can Crimsix and PaulEhx put spoil to the party once more?
Well, it's going a little bit quiet everywhere. A pre-aim going to come through already. LA Thieves shut it down. It's now 4-4 between these two teams.
Oh, can you smell it?
It's standing room only at the Major, by the way. The crowd is in attendance. They know we've got a game on our hands. And the rounds are ticking away. 8 done and no clear leader. I have no idea what's going on. I have no idea what's going to happen.
I said every single round is relatively clean for the most part for both teams. Wins have been relatively one-sided, apart from that 1v2 from Neptune, which may well haunt the Thieves if we do go that far to that round 11. This time around, though, Drazah switching it up once more.
You can see both teams.
Big of it.
Play a little bit. Oh! Octane takes down Drazah. New York now with the advantage. They have the numbers. Still, though, patience.
Oh, I don't know if it's misplaced from Octane or if the comms aren't there. The nade goes over to 3v4. Is it redemption time for Sam on the outside? NYSL.
Here it comes. Here it comes.
They're hitting it.
Octane is about to find out. There's a lot of players here already to push it into PaulEhx, but somehow not able to get it nailed down, and he's desperately running back here, trying to play his life. He needs reinforcements.
Oh, the opportunity was there, but it presents itself once more. Paul will fall. Mid-map control is going to be crucial here for the side of Thieves as Subliners start to switch it up with Thieves. They've got the book out, they've read this playbook once more, and Envoy will find the kill on the Crimsix. 3 versus 2, they've turned this round around.
And now New York are up a creek, and that paddle is disappearing, but I say that. They have a sniper regardless. 2 versus 2, but Kenny gets him, and now a 1 versus 1. Neptune firing, looking, and Kenny shuts him down! And now he gets a defuse in. LA Thieves are now 1 round away from the reverse sweep.
What a crazy, crazy round that was. Octane team kill, Octane fumble, Octane first blood for the side of Thieves. And then the round just kind of plays out from there. HyDra does his best, but Neptune, oh, Kenny just jumps to the other side. It's not good gunfight by any stretch of the imagination, Brycey. And NYSL, they need another round to force a round 11.
This could all be over in seconds. This game could be over. New York's tournament could be over.
Oh, look at this.
It's a big hit. It's a big hit already. Drazah puts bullets into Neptune. There's fire going all around. P5, Envoy gets first blood. Neptune gets it back. It's down to a 3 versus 3.
Looking for the kills here for Thieves. They've committed quite a lot over towards this. Kenny will find one more. Subliners, you need to do something. You need a hero play.
Well, here they go. LA Thieves are committing to this. They're going to be looking for it as well. They
Oh my God!
It's now only Crimsix. It's only Crimsix who can shut this down. The reverse sweep is now on the cards. Can he do it? No. They found him. He's in trouble. The bodies come through. And LA Thieves, the reverse sweep, run it up.
My God. The switch up comes in for the Thieves. They answer back to the questions that have been asked by the community, been asked by NYSL 5 times in that game. They answer the question the 3 times they need to, back to back to back. And the Thieves get the job done.
The doomsday clock was reading 1 minute to midnight. There was a call for blow it up, but not this day, not this game. The New York Subliners will go quietly out of this tournament.
Quietly?
Well, LA Thieves triumphant here at the Major. They have won one finally in 4 weeks. And in what dramatic fashion. I'll tell you something, LAN is magic, Ton. LAN is magic.
What a game. What a phenomenal, phenomenal game. LA Thieves kind of just win it where they won the previous map. In that P5, inside the maps, NYSL said, do you want to dance once more? And Thieves said, this is our playground. Envoy opens it up. Neptune answers back. But this is where it's made here for the Thieves. They find this initial break. PaulEhx has to go huge. He has to go massive. He's been so influential for this team. But Neptune gets caught kind of just running, and Paul just has to back on down. It's so, so difficult here. If he stays, he falls, but gets caught climbing up to the top. It's a 6-3 from Kenny to end the game and end NYSL's tournament.
What an incredible game. Balanced on a knife edge the entire way through, Ton. We didn't know what to make after those first 2 here. We thought it might be New York, but the dream never dies. The dream never dies, and there is not an awful lot of way for me to break that one down, Tom, because it's ridiculous. It's blown out my voice box. It's made me sweat about 8 liters of blood. Oh my goodness.
You're a sweaty guy anyway.
I am a sweaty guy anyway.
It's not really that deep. Look, I mean, look, for NYSL, that is a tough one. You definitely were in the position to win that game on multiple occasions. There will be questions asked about that one. That's one that it feels like they threw it, but you have to say the resilience for the side of LA Thieves. Is this the start of the beautiful comeback? Who knows? That was hard to watch for a lot of people, but my goodness me, what a game.
It certainly was. What a game. Well, Desk, how about that one, mate?
Crazy. None of those teams wanted to lose at all.
Dude, that series was fire. Those last 2 maps were absolutely incredible. What Thieves were able to do from that control. Drazah throughout the last 3 maps was literally a superstar. Every huge play that you needed, he was clutching up from the control on B, clutching up to the very end. I mean, just flawless gameplay out of him.
Oh, Big Daddy Nate shot is smiling at home right now. But let's go ahead and jump into the Scump play of the game of the last round of control that just lit this entire series on fire.
Dude, it was pure insanity. I mean, you were on offense for this final round, back against the wall, working on a reverse sweep, and you got to start it some way, and they were able to stack the point at B off the rip just about. I mean, this series and these moments were some of the most wild that we have had all year long. The chaos and insanity and team shots coming through and players flying around it. I mean, the most hyper-aggressive game and 2 teams going at it, not just in this moment for control, but literally non-stop. I mean, this was the started, and after this moment, never slowed down.
Yeah, and you saw Drazah literally just push through mid for free. He knew that lane was completely open, and he doesn't make that push there through Church and that timing. They get cleared out on that B side. He's there for the assistance with Octane. They finish the cap, and 2 players are already on A.
I mean, dude, that's had to be one of the fastest round of Tuscan controls on offense we've seen as well. Like, just a completely absurd, bonkers, batshit insane, a crazy series we just had, and that is truly one for April Fools.
You know what? We got the hype up. Let's go over and send it over to the main stage for the Game Fuel Victory Spotlight with the winners, 100 Thieves.
Thank you very much, guys. Envoy, firstly, congratulations. What a series was, mate. You've had some tough ones in your career. You've had some crazy reverse sweeps. How does that one stack up?
It felt good, man. We iced up when we needed to, and we've been lacking a lot of that recently. So it's a big win for the squad, the first in a while. So we're super happy.
It's about time, right?
It's about time.
Your teammates all performed incredibly. Your first bloods were out of control. That Search and Destroy, you had some amazing moments. Is there anything in your mind right now that sticks out as like a defining moment where you knew we got this?
I mean, that round 5 control win was a super big swing. I mean, the offense is as hard as it gets, and, you know, we took B, took A, and that was the start of the reverse sweep. Triple Tuscan, shout out to Cap.
That went big. That went real big. Your mum's front row, mate.
Yeah.
It was a roller coaster for us as fans. Can't imagine what it was like for her.
It's great. And shout out my mom, shout out my grandma. They're here today to support, and shout out all the other fans for supporting us. We're going to keep stacking on the dubs.
Mate, congratulations once again. You've earned yourself a bit of a rest. The tournament continues for you. GG's.
Thank you.
Desk, back to you.
Woo! I'm loving everything I'm seeing from LAT right now. And aLLeY, you know what? One of the best moments right there. You loved it when Kenny just got worked, and then he went crazy.
Kenny literally got torqued on top church, and he was just like, I cannot go out like this. And then just goes on a 6 free, just starts sprinting at New York Subliners, and obviously they came out with the win.
That's the absurd thing to me, that literally sprinting at them, like no shoulder peeks, nothing, just flying at him with the gunny, like all the confidence in the world after a moment like that. Kenny is straight up different.
Nameless. LA Thieves looking good, man. Moving on in the tournament. We've been waiting for this all stage 2.
Yep, and they're going to play the winner of this next series, which is going to be either OpTic or the Minnesota Røkkr. So, you know, LA Thieves looking a lot better in the second half of that series, even in that hard point. I love what I saw. So we'll see if Thieves can get back into early season form as we hear the crowd go, and OpTic is now taking that stage.
It ain't OpTic. It's the Minnesota Røkkr. They're on mini side OpTic right now. I'm loving it. Ladies and gentlemen, today has been a crazy one so far, but we are nowhere near done yet. Coming up next, we're going to see the Major 1 champions, OpTic Texas, take on the hometown team, the Minnesota Røkkr, and I can't wait. We'll catch you guys on the other side for some damn good Call of Duty action.